Psychic investigator Andy Matthews has come to Woburn House in County Down. A training college run by the Northern Ireland Prison Service, this Georgian mansion has had an interesting, and some would say, checkered past. A former borstal, and before that, a summer residence for the descendants of its wealthy 19th century founder, George Gilmore Dunbar.
Wow. So that's Woburn House.
But Woburn has a more sinister reputation too. The house is said to be haunted by a killer. There are many stories told about the Woburn ghost, and Bob Pugh, who's worked here for over 30 years, has heard them all. He even has one of his own.
Back in the borstal days, we used to use this as a night guard lookout point, because we could see across the front of the building in both directions. The borstal boys were in the dormitories down below here. I came up one night, set myself down on the chair, put my feet up on the coffee table, and just at that instant the place went icy cold. And it was a really warm summer's night. It was the middle of summer.
There were no windows open?
No windows were open. The place was really warm prior to that. Went icy cold. I felt shivery, so I went to get up, and I felt as though someone had put their arms around me and grabbed me from behind, and I couldn't move. So I eventually got my feet down off the coffee table, and I went to get up, and again I was completely being held, just held in one position. And I thought, now the other fellows are downstairs. If I shout, at least one of them will hear me downstairs. And at that moment, it was as if a hand went over my mouth.
No.
And I couldn't move, I couldn't open my mouth to shout. And I began to wrestle around. I was looking over my shoulder and was saying to the other, I thought it was one of the other fellows had come up and was messing around. And I said to him, like, for goodness sakes, let go, you know. And I looked around and there was nobody there.
It was that strong, you actually felt?
It was that strong, I actually felt that I couldn't move. So eventually I managed to wrestle around, got down onto my knees on the floor and jumped up. Of course there was nobody there and the place just warmed up again. But I know for a fact that there was something, and I honestly felt it was quite frightening at the time.
So it has got the power and energy, whatever it is
There appears to be, yes.
To be able to manifest and break through and grab hold of people and move things.
The ghost of Woburn is known as the Butler, and Bob's not the only one here at the Prison Officer Training College to have run foul of him.
It was my very first night on night guard, night duty here. This door opened.
So it was shut?
I had closed it.
You had closed it?
Yeah.
You actually came in here, shut the door, and then it was like somebody just opened it. And the thing is, with this door, it's on a very heavy spring there.
As I came to the door to see who had opened it, I was met by what I would call a barrier of steam. This steam was freezing cold, very cold. So I hastily got out of that room and made my way back to the office. And my colleague was there as I walked through the door, and I said to him, "What are you at? What's the game here? What are you doing?" And he immediately said, "Oh, you've been visited by the butler."
The butler?
The butler.
The story as I heard it was that one of the butlers back in the days of the private residence is reputed to have got one of the maids pregnant. And the story is that he was supposed to have killed her, taken her body onto this headland, threw it into the sea, and come back and gone into the building, into the very room that I have as an office now, and hanged himself in that room.
He actually hanged himself in your office?
Supposed to have hanged himself in that room, that's right. Now, the thing is that this headland here, where he's reputed to have thrown her into the sea, if you look at an Ordnance Survey map, you'll find that that is known as Berkeley Rocks.
Why is it called Berkeley Rock?
Berkeley was his name, and so this became Berkeley Rocks.
That's where he supposedly dumped her
This is
body.
where he supposedly taken her, thrown her body into the sea, come back, gone into the building, and hanged himself in the top room of the tower, which is now my office.
You can't help but notice or sense the ghosts that are here, because there's so much kind of energy in this building. I feel that whatever is here isn't standoffish. It wants to be known, it wants to be recognised, it wants to be acknowledged.
Using an array of electronics, the paranormal team will handle the technical side of this investigation. Today they'll focus on the tower room where Bob had his brush with the supernatural.
Is there anybody here with us? If there is, please, can you leave your first name and your surname?
To initiate contact, and more crucially, invite a response, they'll scan an audio spectrum beyond the range of normal hearing.
What we're basically doing was we're running an experiment which is called the frequency sweep. It's very similar to sort of a pink noise or a white noise experiment, but the difference being we're not using a combination of tones simultaneously, we're using one tone which then increases or ascends over time, in this case over a time period of 2 minutes.
If you can you leave us your first name and surname?
It's going from infrasound, which is roughly about 20 hertz, right up to ultrasound, which is roughly around about 20,000 hertz, which is just both ends outside the human sort of hearing level.
If you have a message to pass on, please do so now.
What we're thinking is, if there is a spirit supposedly coming through, and I mean, I'm sort of remain very sceptical about this, but it's something we have to try. If the spirits are trying to communicate with us, surely it might be easier if they're trying to work with one tone rather than working with a series of tones at the same time.
Are you happy?
Just so you know, for your reference, there was activity on 3,000 hertz on the climb up and 3,000 hertz on the descent back down.
That's interesting, Mark.
Right. You can definitely hear something where that is. A very low bass tone. And again, I don't have any idea what it is or what the significance is, but I know that it's not a straight line like Julia's speech or like the crew moving around. It's dot, 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 dot.
The final member of the team, Marion Goodfellow, has arrived to join the search. A professional medium, she's said to have made her first contact with the spirit world at the age of 3. If there's a presence here at Woburn, she'll find it.
Sometimes I see spirit, and I see them like I see ordinary people, you know, three-dimensionally. They could be actually physical to my eye. Other times I perceive them.
Oddly, it's in front of the house, not inside, that Marion senses a voice from the past.
Picking up a young woman.
What?
I'm picking up a young woman, 23, 24 years old. And she's telling me that she's in the well.
The well?
The well. She's in the well. So...
Where would the well be?
I haven't got a clue. Well, this young girl came to me. It was a complete surprise to me. At first, I had to get her to calm down. I couldn't understand her language. Then she told me that she was in the well. I asked where the well was, because she sounded as if she was coming from underneath the water. She told me that the well was in the front room. Not only that, that the well is right next to the tunnel. Yeah, it's here. Definitely here.
That's
the spot, right? And I feel the tunnel is connected in some way with the well.
It is.
And I would feel that you can go straight through, underneath the building, not out that way, underneath the building, straight out and straight out to the beach.
That's right.
I was just amazed by it, just amazed that she came to me. You know, minding my own business, basically, and up she comes.
Not only has Marion located a well sealed without trace 150 years ago, she may also have discovered a missing link between Woburn House and the rocks where Barclay is said to have disposed of his victim, the tunnel.
There was a well under the floor of the main dining room.
Right.
And there was a passageway, a tunnel, which went across to the beach from the building, so it would be feasible to assume that that went from beside the well across to the beach. It was sealed up when the building became the Borstal. It wouldn't be very good to have a prison with a tunnel.
No, The Great Escape springs to mind.
Yes.
With a connection established between the well, the tunnel and the murder at the centre of this investigation, Bob and Andy move on to the census records in search of the alleged killer.
We've got a census here from 1901.
All they have to work with is a surname and a profession.
Here, Robert Barclay, year 1901, age 50, sex male,
Roman Catholic, married, a butler, birthplace, County Antrim, education, reading and write. A Roman Catholic, now that's interesting because if it was the Robert Barclay and it says here he was a butler, if he was the butler here and he did indeed get the maid pregnant, that would go against his...
Very, very much against his
Roman
religion.
Catholic religion and his family.
The records connecting Robert Barclay with Woburn House are encouraging but circumstantial. So far, there's no proof that this Barclay ever worked here. Andy rallies the team to see if, together, they can draw out the elusive butler.
Right, OK, what we're going to try tonight, we're going to try this ghost nest idea of mine. We need to cover this whole area, because I feel the ghost walks this area from the corridor there, down this corridor here, through this door, around here, up there, and into the tower room. So if we get all those areas covered, especially the landing above as well, I think he wants us to know that he's here.
Absolutely.
So if he wants to let us know he's here, this is the place to do it.
Ian! What'd you like?
Let's do a check, bung the lights off. Hang on. Right. Tonight we're trying something a little different. We've put together a little nest of experiments, which I've called the ghost nest.
That's it. Perfect.
Let's go. Now, the purpose of this is to try and attract whatever is here into a place where it feels safe and secure. I'm talking about it, I mean a person or a ghost. It's basically a kind of series of controlled object tests, because we know that the energy within this building has the ability and the power to be able to move things, touch things and interact with us. Because if it does want to make contact and let us know that he's here, then hopefully he should move some of those objects, or at least cause something to happen. The problem is, when you're looking for ghosts, the most important thing to remember... What's that? It's a telly.
I'm monitoring it right now. It sounds like music.
Hold on. Wait there, everyone. Don't move. OK, I'm going to go and check this out. What the hell? What are you getting? What are you getting? What are you picking up?
Radios are going off as well.
Radio's going off. Right, it seems to be happening.
You can hear talking.
Is there nobody else in the building apart from us?
I'm getting it in the hallway now. The corridor where the other...
Right, OK. Right, everybody in... Can we get everyone in the control room? Everybody out of the way. Come on.
Listen, there's 3 different things going.
Show them one then first.
But there's the first one.
Where's that? Here?
No, that's here.
Right, this could be a distraction from what we're watching, so keep your eyes on the screens.
Now here's the second one.
Where's it coming from?
All 3 channels are playing the same thing now. It's a TV or something.
It is a TV.
There's somebody on the TV. Who's that? What the hell is that?
There's something banging around somewhere.
Somebody has to be down there.
Right, I'm going to go down.
The noise they're hearing could be the sound of a television echoing down an empty corridor. But who or what switched it on?
Right now everything's playing the same thing.
Where's the night watchman? Where would the night watchman be, Bob?
On the front gate.
The front gate. Is there any way that he can broadcast? Yeah, OK, Scotch. Bear in mind this may be some kind of decoy. Sounds a little bit loopy, but, you know, just keep an eye on them screens, yeah?
Okay, Roger, we're monitoring all cameras.
Andy suspects that the noise may be coming from somewhere outside the house. And he's absolutely right.
You've had the thing set there and all that?
There you are.
False alarm then. We've established where the link came from. The guys in the front security desk have accidentally put a book on the switch, so that accounts for the radio and TV signal and the intercom going around the building, yeah? So we can scratch that, OK?
Okay, over.
OK, run away back now.
And the ghost nest camera, the instruments are flashing.
Oh, God.
Something just happened
Yeah.
in this. Did you see that?
Yeah, I did too.
Something's just happened here. It's just...
While Andy was outside, the equipment trained on the ghost nest began to register intense activity. And not just sound, but movement.
What is going
No,
on?
I'm
No,
hearing
no.
footsteps.
That's light. That's big. That's got a lighter.
Yeah.
What the hell's going on? Where's the light coming from?
I have no idea, but
It has.
I heard footsteps in that room.
Do you see that getting lighter and darker, Simon? Along that crease. See it?
Did you see
Right
that?
there, yeah.
What's that?
Look.
What's-
That's what
a-
I've been saying the whole time, on top of that Bible.
A shadow.
Yeah. Let's go and darken in light. There's again.
Something's down there. Can hear talking, I think. There's
There's
definite noise in there. Definite noise.
Thump.
Yeah.
That's in
again.
there. That's in there.
Someone, it seems, is trying to get through. In the room next to Andy's ghost nest, Marion attempts to make contact. This time, closely monitored by the paranormal team.
I can hear her saying it over and over and over again. But you like me, but you like me. It's almost like a panicky sort of feeling, but you like me, but you like me. Andy set up the ghost nest in order to attract the butler. What's really amazing is we got the lady come through. Can you hear me, sweetheart?
Whoa. She can. Carry on.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Carry on.
There's no discernible voice replying to Marion, but there does seem to be some kind of response. The team are hearing surges in the static after every question.
Is there something you want to say to us?
Yes.
Whoa.
That's it.
She's trying
Can't
desperately
I'm getting
to get a message through to you. Is there something you want to say to us?
Yes. Right.
There we
there
go.
we go.
There we go.
There we go. They're coming through right there, 10:30.
I've been asking questions. No one else could hear the answers, but they have that wave gadget on their machinery, and they actually could see that I was getting responses to my questions. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Yes, we got it. Can you knock on the table where the Bible is, please? Can you knock?
There
on...
we go, yes.
It's very easy for us to knock, to make that audible sound. Just imagine what it's like if you've got no physical body. It becomes a huge issue.
Can you do this?
Yep. Got it.
We were getting actually a conscious reply.
Can you do this on the table where the Bible is?
Andy knocked once. It responded. It knocked once. He knocked again. Twice this time. It knocked twice back. Then Andy set up a real drum rhythm of knocking. And it thought, nah, I'm not having any of this. They're taking the mickey.
Well, I think we did have some kind of success with the ghost nest. It was a definite intelligent response. So there is something there. And once they analyse this static, generally they can find words or bits of sentences that are there, hidden within the static.
The maid may have signalled her presence, but Barclay, it seems, is still at large. For another perspective on the ghostly butler, Andy visits Susan Scott. Her family once lived at Woburn House, and she's well aware of its reputation.
Somewhere I remember my mother telling me that the butler had got the maid into trouble, but you know that's just a story. I don't know. I really don't know anything more.
And medium Marion also picked up on a girl that came forward. She was dressed in a maid's kind of uniform from that era, and that she was talking from underwater. In other words, she had died and was underwater somewhere.
Right. It's a story that is fairly universal, isn't it? It's always the butler that gets the housemaid into trouble. But that's the story that I had, that he had got this girl into trouble, got pregnant, and either that he'd killed her or that he'd hung himself. That was another story that I had heard. But I'm afraid it's just local chat.
But local chat doesn't quite explain what happened last night. Back at the house, Andy's faith in the investigation is about to be renewed.
So we've had time to analyse what we got last night. Anything good?
Well, in the static here, we have what appears to be "Can you hear me?" and it's a little something else that I can't make out. And then a knock. And then Marion speaks here, and then there's a little bit of a, see if you can pick it up, slip of the tongue there.
All right, okay. It's a knock. It's Marion. Again. Shit, shoot, shoot, shit.
Sounds like shit to me.
Would they have used the word like shit back in the 1800s, or?
Well, maybe if they've just discovered Marion is onto him.
What was the question she was actually asking?
Can you hear me?
It's when Marion was sitting there and I was getting the static and I asked, can you confirm to him that we can hear them?
Yeah.
And she said something about "we can hear you," and then you got that shit.
So it's kind of a surprise, like...
She can hear us.
This is like shoot or shit or something.
We pretty much get shoot shit. Oh shit.
What about visually? Did we get anything visually on the...
Yes, we did. I froze the frame here for you. This is up in the tower room. With this, we can pretty much discount normal orbs, which is dust, that sort of thing. This is quite different. First of all, it's the movement.
Occasionally, cameras record curious electromagnetic signatures, moving blurs or points of light. Paranormal investigators refer to them as orbs. Sometimes there's a simple explanation, and sometimes there isn't.
Can we see the full footage? They got an orb there.
There's another one, yeah.
Whoa!
That's outrageous.
That just appeared out of nowhere. Can we run it again?
None of us have ever seen anything like that.
That's the orb.
Out the window too, huh?
Yeah, it seems to have disappeared, doesn't it? And it disappears there. It's beginning. It's appearing there and disappearing there.
And it came back, didn't it? Back that way?
Yeah.
A few minutes later.
Where am I looking at? Where's
Bottom left.
It's gonna
From left to right.
Whoa! Whoa!
Wow.
Yeah.
It's barbs or something?
If this is paint dripping or falling off the roof or anything
it doesn't
like that,
fly up from the
it's
floor.
not going to come back up again. No. And it's not dust or anything like that.
Never seen anything like that.
Now, we cannot find a normal explanation for that.
Insect, maybe?
No. We've looked at it and we all agree it's not an insect either. It's beyond us.
What about something?
I had thought paint maybe had fallen from the ceiling. We've checked that. Any paper on the floor, paint on the floor. There's nothing at all.
I've never seen anything like that. Never. I've seen rods, you know, but that seems to be like maybe a collection of tiny light rods sort of clasped together. But it's actually emitting light. This time it was taken 21, 24. Was that a time where we had the problems with the
That is the other thing I
intercom?
was going to bring to your attention. As everything was kicking off here, that is when it happened. It was at the exact same time.
Really?
We were around the rest of the building, yeah.
It just seems too coincidental. We're on that wild goose chase, and you get that.
Bang, we get something.
Well, originally we came here to Woburn House to try and uncover a kind of a murder mystery, but what we've actually stumbled across is perhaps one of the most interesting pieces of paranormal evidence that I've ever recorded. The ghost nest that I set up last night was originally designed to try and entice out the ghost of the butler, Barclay, but who actually came forward appears to be the maid. The problem is she's got me kind of stumped because whatever kind of message she's trying to put across, we can't really make head nor tail of.
The following morning, Marion is back at the spot where she made contact on the day she arrived, hoping once again to speak with the maid.
She's definitely here on the outside.
She out now?
Yeah, she's here. She doesn't like the house. She doesn't like to be in the house. She likes to be outside.
Yeah.
I'm going to try and ask her, does she know who killed her? Is your name Anne? She's nodding. She's standing right there beside you. So, And I'm saying, was it her energy that, you know, I found in the well? Yes, she's nodding. It was her. And was it one of the staff that hurt you? No. She's going like that all the time. And were you pregnant? Were you having a baby? Yes. And did your parents know that you were having a baby?
No.
No. Did you tell the father of the baby, Anne? Yes, he knew.
Was it him who killed her?
Was it the baby's father that killed you, Anne? Yes. And are you aware of the butler? The butler. She doesn't like him.
Was he anything to do with it, with the event?
And did he have anything to do with what happened to you in the well? No. He has nothing to do with her death at all. Okay? He's nothing to do with it. No, she said, no. Poor soul. Been blamed for centuries for a murder he didn't commit. No, she was quite adamant. I asked her particularly, did the butler do it? And back, no, it wasn't the butler. No, he didn't do it, bless him. So he's vindicated after all these years.
Andy and the team have confirmed almost every aspect of this story. The pregnant maid, the tunnel, the well, the murder. Every aspect, that is, except one. Barclay and the headland named after him. Perhaps the legend of Woburn, retold and refined over the years, has made a convenient scapegoat out of an innocent man. Marion believes so. The question is, do you?